Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Real quick, you both stop the real quick, double check the steering wheel. Roll.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
All out there. Nice and smooth. Let's get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
It's too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
This isn't just another sim race, this isn't just another online league, and this isn't just another trophy on a shelf. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Drivers choose the charity. Talent chooses the winner. The culture is strong, but the competition is stronger. Most events focus on just one cause, not here. Each driver selects a charity to race for, leaving dozens of causes in contention as drivers fight for a place in the top 5.
Think you've got what it takes to join the Charity Cup Series? Find a cause you believe in and buckle up. This is more than your everyday sim racing experience. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Welcome everybody out here to the Weekend Warrior Sim Series Arc Menards race here tonight. You're just joining us here at the end, as we're finishing up qualifying here for the night. You're joining us here at Nashville Superspeedway here in the Arctic cars. I'm your host, Goose, and I've got my co-host up in the booth, Christopher. Say hello, Christopher.
How's it going, folks? My name's Christopher Maxwell.
So I got Christopher Maxwell up here in the booth tonight. Should be a pretty fun one out there tonight. We're going to take a look here at Mr. Blaze Billing out there in that number 96 Monster Machine. He's been running some good laps, currently sitting in 17th. See what he can run. We'll also take a look at the weather real quick. Temperatures are looking like 88 degrees Fahrenheit, 31 degrees Celsius. Christopher, how's that wind looking out there?
Well, the wind's not the biggest thing to look at, actually. The big thing to look at today is the temperatures. The temperature on the track, 88 degrees. That's going to make for a very hot track surface, and this race is going to be all about tire management. Because with a hot race surface, you're going to have high tire wear and loose race cars. These tires are going to go by fast if these drivers don't save them accordingly. Our scheduled distance today, I believe, is
laps, I believe.
120 laps at Nashville Superspeedway. Nashville Superspeedway, a 1.5 mile track here, and with the temperatures being 88 degrees, that means it is going to be a very interesting race. They're gonna have to manage their tires very carefully here, and take it one step at a time. We can see a lot of strategy play out tonight with this, and can ultimately decide who will win by strategy.
Another mile and a half, another Tuesday night out here in the Weekend Warrior Sim Series. Hey, if you're interested in joining them, take a look into their Discord. Season 2 is going to be starting up very shortly, so make sure you guys get in there, get signed up before Season 2 starts. We'd also like to take some time here to say thank you to a few of our sponsors. Goose's Rattle Can Shop. You need a paint done for your ride in iRacing? Come check me out on Discord. I'll do them for you. Puffy Swag Shop. Check them out. He'll get you squared away with any of your custom clothing needs or 3D printing needs. Juicy Spider graphics and designs, if for any of those, of course. Check them out. And of course, we want to say a good thank you to the league sponsors. Christopher.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by the league sponsors that support the Weeknight Warrior Sim Racing League, that being the Fast Friends Wrap Shop, Tunnel to Towers Foundation, Pro Spill Recovery and Excavation Services, and 760 Graphics. Thank you to those proud partners that support Weeknight Warrior Sim Racing League.
Huge shout out to them, of course. Huge shout out to any sponsors who, of course, help out some of these iRacing leagues. As you guys know, who would want to pour money into a simulator? A lot of people would ask that, and well, definitely these guys. It's a good way to get your business out there. So definitely, if you are interested in any kind of sponsorship deals, let us know in the Fearless Discord server. Make sure to check us out there and join us out there. Alrighty, folks. Qualifying just finished up out there. We got some guys gridding up through the field. Let's take a look through your grid out there. Starting in that first place position, that's going to be Garrett Hummel. Second, Dawson D. Price. Starting right next to him, Matt Morrison will be in third. Fourth will be Connor Price. Fifth, Al Linkins.
Al Lincoln's actually, go ahead. I was going to say, Al Lincoln's actually your last week's winner at the Heartland at Kansas Speedway.
That is very true. That is very true. Hopefully, we can see a little of that talent that he had last week. Let's see if he can bring that out here this week. Kyle Reynolds will be there in that 6th position in that 11 car. You see Sean Merriman in that 7th position. Aiden Stevens will be right next to him, 9th. Omar Rodriguez Jr. in 10th. Nolan Gross. Let's take a look back further in your grid. Christopher, read them off there.
Yeah, we got P11 Hunter Zell in the number, let me see what number he is because it's not showing here. Hunter Zell in the number 19, there we go. There he is. All right, Justin Zibecki in the number 3 car. Starting off P13 inside, Jacob Perchwowski in the number 01. Starting next to him, James Hudson in the number 2. Starting P15 inside, going to be the number 62 car of Ty Corino and the 09 on the outside of Travis Farmer. Starting in 17th, 96 of Blaze Billings, and the 18th position, Nick Haynes in the 31. And starting off P19, Sean Fry in the 99, and beside him, rounding out the top 20, rounding out the top 20 is Kyle Van Druhen.
Taking a look back here at some of your slower guys, but still not out. Reagan Shockley will be back there in the 21st position. Nathan Swafford, in 22nd. Jeremy Osborne in 23rd. Heath Job in 24th. You see him right there in that 760 machine. Jeremy Osborne, a little bit slow there. Christopher McCullough in 25th. Kenneth McCullough Jr. in 26th. And Matt Benke in 27th. We'll round out the grid here tonight Should be a pretty fun one, hopefully, out here. I think so. 1.5-mile track calls for some pretty fun racing most of the time when it comes to it out here. We're going to see them go a little bit crazy here very, very soon, shortly. See that older pace car, that older Ford Mustang pace car that I usually love. It's going to come down to the pits, and Garrett Hummel's going to lead them around. Green flag is going to drop here tonight at Nashville. Let's go racing. That 78 is going to take the lead on that bottom side, but quick to the outside there is the 54 of Dawson D. Price, fighting for that first position early on that outside. You see the 28 wants to shoot it in there almost for 3 wide. Not going to be a smart position. He's going to choose that smart position and stay back there. Keep it 2 wide and stay behind that 6.
We are going, and currently sitting in the 5th position, the number 9 car, your last week's winner of Al Likens, trying to make his way up the field, battling with the number 11 of Kyle Reynolds at this time. One thing I want to note, actually, if we look down our grid in the 26th position, Kenneth McCool Jr., that your current points leader, actually, did not go out to qualify, chose to stay in the back, not sure what happened there. Currently in your 26th position, battling it out, trying to get going. Slow start to pace, but here, let's check it out up front still. You got a side-by-side battle for your 2nd place position here of Dawson D. Price and Matt Morrison battling it out, and now a side-by-side battle with Al Likens and the 28 of Connor Price, see what they can get done.
Definitely a fun one out here. Definitely a lot of battles early on here tonight. You see that 0-2 battling on the outside. That's Nolan Gross trying to take the outside there on the number 18 machine. That's Sean Merriman there on the inside. He's able to hold that inside down as they're going to chase down that number 74. That number 74 is Aiden Stevens. Aiden Stevens is not really going to have a place to go just yet until that 9 moves past the 11. You see that Kyle Larson and is that Chase Elliott out there. I do like him. Of course, wrong numbers, unfortunately. That number 9's fine. Of course, the 11 looks a little bit weird, but that's all right.
All right. One thing to note, actually, I was looking at the point standings. This is their 2nd week in the playoffs. One thing to note, there's only 9 points separating your points leader of Kenneth McCall Jr. and number 74 of Aiden Stevens currently after Kansas. So interesting night indeed. See if Aiden can make some moves to possibly take over that points lead. And your team owners championship, actually, currently being led by the Triple M MMR Racing. They are currently in the lead there, and see if Triple R can get back up there. Currently a battle of 29 points to see if they can get battle going there.
Take a look at some onboard action. Up here, there we go, some onboard action of Aiden Stevens out there in that 74 machine. He's fighting to get up there to Nolan Gross. Nolan Gross up 3 positions since the start of this race.
Oh, the 2 car goes around. And the 96 caution is out.
How you doing there, kid?
Oh, the 9 also went around.
Oh,
that's Al Lincolns. The Al Lincolns spins out. Thankfully, he did not hit the wall. Just takes a little tumble through the grass.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about what brought out the caution, actually, which was the 2 car of James Hudson, actually. Yes. The number 2 car of James Hudson.
Yeah, let's see
brought out.
Pull that up here.
Coming out of turn 4. Coming out of turn 4, it looks like he gets a little love tap from the 34, I believe that is.
Whoops, I fast forwarded it.
Yes, that it. No, that is the 3 car. He gets a little love tap from. It looks like.
Let's reset that. All right, there we go. Take a look at the 3 and the 2. The 2 just gets a little bit of a love tap from the 3 and almost goes around. And the 3 just hits him again, unfortunately. The 96 gets loose and goes off down into pit road. The 62 also down there. That's Ty Carino, thankfully, just through the grass. Doesn't look like there's too much damage, thankfully, to those cars. So.
Let's go ahead and look at. I do want to point out, actually, the Al Likens situation, because I don't know if you looked at that, but it looks like door-to-door banging, and with the 11 car, and Al getting the lower end of that and just going around after that. You may want to look at that.
Let's take a look back at it, see if we can get a different camera angle as they would come down pit lane. Let's just see here. We're taking a look at the number 2 right now. I want to take a look at the number 3.
Take a look at the number 9 as well.
The 09?
No, the number 9, Al Likens, during that caution, because that is actually pretty interesting. Is when the caution flag was coming out.
Oh yeah, he spun out after the caution.
No, he had some help. He had some help. Go look at that.
Oh yeah, let's go take a look at Al Likens then, on board during this caution. We'll take a look here at the number 11. If I can grab the number 11 here. There we go, Kyle Reynolds. Let's take a look at some onboard action from that. Let's look from the roll bar here. Alright, let's play it slow. So you see there to the right of the screen there, that is Al Likens in that number 9. We'll actually speed this up because this is about when he gets some help there. They door bang, going right across the checkered flag there. Likens comes back down. We'll pop out to the cam there. The 9 of Likens goes up into the wall. Thankfully able to keep it back off that wall. And then almost into the cars again and down into the grass.
Hey Goose, let's go ahead and go back to live cam. We're about to go green. Lights are out on the Mustang.
Yes, sir. We'll get up there to first place. A little bit of an extended look at that caution. A lot happening there. See Garrett Hummel up here in first position. Dawson D. Price in second. Connor Price there in that third position. Or no, Matt Morrison, sorry. Connor Price in fourth position. They're going back and forth.
Coming out of turn number 4, the pace car, Mustang pace car, showing the way here, making that hard left turn into pit lane. It's Garrett Hubbell taking the green flag, coming to the restart zone. Here we go. Green flag in the air. We're underway back again here in Nashville. Wow, what a start for Garrett Hubbell.
Yeah, what a great run off that bottom side. He's going to get up there to the top and steal that one away from Dawson D. Price. Able to hold it, not able to keep it there to that bottom. Not too sure what he's doing there. He might be letting Dawson D. Price pass him up. If you notice there, take a look at those banners. You see the banner of Dawson D. Price, one of your chase drivers out there tonight. He's got it all on the line. Hopefully he'll be able to grab and claw some points, anything that he can get, before the next and final race of the season. The next and final race of the season, we're going to be going to Homestead, I believe. So definitely check that one out next week, Tuesday night, same time. We're going to be at Homestead, Miami. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun out there. We got a lot brewing out there on the track. The 54 is still shooting for that lead. The 28 is losing some ground there to the 6, and you see Rodriguez making his way up through the field.
We got a battle of the lead, possibly being overtaken by Mr. Dawson D. Price.
It's very, very true. Dawson D. Price up there in that first position now from the bottom. They're almost going to go 3 wide. The 6 almost into the back of that 28 car. There's that 28 of Connor Price up there in third position now. Here comes the 02 of Nolan Gross. He's looking to the back of that 6 car. And just not too far behind, as I just said it, Rodriguez.
Connor Price to the inside of Garrett Hubbell with the 6 right in line with him. Connor Price now coming for your leader of Dawson Price, actually. Battle the Prices now up front. And here comes Garrett Hubbell, full speed ahead on the outside, and he stays on the outside, doesn't drop down to the bottom like I thought. And the 6 of Matt Morrison possibly taking advantage of that. Oh, Garrett Hubbell tags the wall there for a second, and Matt Morrison taking advantage of him tagging the wall to the inside, and see if Matt Morrison can possibly secure that 3rd place position.
Not too sure if these cars out there. I'm seeing this number 2 of James Hudson back here in 17th position. He's down 3 positions since the start of this race. Heath Job, on the other hand, in 16th place.
Garrett Hubbell goes around
8th
in the grass and through pit lane. No caution. Wow.
See him there on that camera. Garrett Hubbell, unfortunately, taking that little spin through the grass. Not going to bring out the caution.
Garrett Hubbell had some help.
That. We'll rewind it here a little bit.
Garrett Hubbell had some help, battled side by side, and went around and had.
Oh my goodness!
Help.
You also see the 78 Denver Mattress ARCA car spin it out going down pit lane. So, and yeah, that is the 11 car. Doing that yet again. Another incident with the 11. Didn't look on purpose, thankfully. So, Garrett Hubbell had to go down pits. But you see,
Garrett Hubbell possibly going to be your first car lap down after that incident. The leader, Dawson Price, and the rest of the pack coming in hot.
Very true. Take a look up there at that front. You see more and more and more of those chase banners are slowly making their way up there to the front of that field. You take a look at the front. You take a look at the back. All I see is that WWSS Chase yellow, red, and blue banner. And a little bit of purple, I think, actually, in there. All I see is those banners up front. These guys are fast. They've earned the title, definitely. Being some of these front runners here tonight. Take a look here at Omar Rodriguez Jr. now in 3rd position. Connor Price and Dawson D. Price. Both of the Prices, yet again, I remember from last week, they were both fighting it hard last week. Here they are again fighting it just as hard here this week. Take a look out there in the chat tonight. We want to say thank you to our viewers for tuning in tonight. We see that Brooklyn says, "Get 'em, boys." Zipper says, "Wish me luck. I'm gonna need it." So I think he's out there racing tonight.
He might be. While we are going through here, go ahead, point out some of our big mover of the race. Sean Fry in the number 99, your biggest mover. Kean Fry, okay. Kean Fry, your biggest mover of the race so far, up 9 positions from the start of this. Started at the 19th position, now up to 10th. Working his way, battling with the 11 car of Kyle Reynolds currently.
There we go. Currently 10th, started 19th. Let's listen to a little bit of his throttle input. Oh my goodness! Thank goodness we were on board for that. We almost watched Kean Fry get into the 11 car of Kyle Reynolds. Not the first time the 11 has had some incidents out here tonight. Down 4 positions since the start of this race. But just hear how much Kean Fry has to work that throttle here in this corner. watch those RPMs drop. And then he's back on it, out of that corner. So thankfully, he's not spinning it around as much as I thought some of these drivers would, you know, with it being such a hot track out here tonight. Dawson D. Price still leads this race, up a position. Omar Rodriguez Jr. up 6 positions since the start of this race. Let's take a look at him.
Omar Rodriguez, your 4th place points runner. Your 4th place points runner right now.
Oh, look at his dog.
Oh, cute doggo. Omar Rodriguez, your 4th place points runner, actually only 1 point behind your 3rd place of Jacob, and 9 point, and it looks like to be of 7 points behind your 2nd place of Aiden Stevens.
Bud racing out there tonight. Looks like Dawson D. Price has got a pretty comfortable lead up there from Connor Price. Connor Price has been able to put his front bumper to that back bumper a couple of times. Not able to get it past him, though, on that high side, as Dawson has been holding that bottom side very, very well this entire lead here. Let's take a look and see how many laps he has actually led here tonight. 13. Dawson D. Price in that 54 machine has led 13 laps here tonight. We're on lap 26 of 120. These guys, I don't think we mentioned it at the beginning, they got 3 sets of tires, plus 1, of course, on the car. But they got 3 sets of tires, 3 green-white checkers, of course, as needed. It's just going to be a fun one. No stages tonight, so we got 120 laps all the way through. Of course, we want to thank all of you guys for tuning in to the live. We want to thank our sponsors, of course.
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and tell them about our broadcasting partners. I'll tell them about the people that helped the league.
That works for me. The guys over here on the Fearless Broadcasting side, the guys that make everything possible, or most of the stuff possible, the other part, of course, is you guys that make this possible. But the guys who make the other stuff possible, we'd like to give a shout out to Premier Racing Setups. If you guys need a iRacing setup, go check them out. Goose's Rattle Can Shop, Puffy's Swag Shop. Also, we'd like to give a shout out to Juicy Spider Designs. Make sure to check them out for any of your graphical design needs.
We're possibly getting... Well, want to go ahead and thank our partners that support this Wild West Weeknight Warrior Sim Racing League. Gosh, got that.
I always get that one mixed up too. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yes. Fast Fred's Wrap Shop, Tunnel to Towers Foundation, Pro Spill Recovery and Excavation Services, and 760 Graphics. Thank you for your support of the Weeknight Warrior Sim Racing League. One thing I want to point out, actually, is we have completed 30 laps here around Nashville Superspeedway, and very close to that fuel window.
That is very true. Oh, here it comes. Connor Price trying to look to the inside of Dawson D. Price for the lead. Let's see if he's going to get it.
Can he make his stick? He makes his stick.
He got him through that corner there.
So it will be interesting to see what's going to happen here in the coming laps. Getting really close to the fuel window, and those tires are absolutely detrimental to these drivers right now, probably. So it is going to be interesting in the coming laps to see what strategy is going to come into play, because it has been a green flag run since our first caution that occurred early on at the start of the race, and only a couple cars went down pit lane for that. And here comes Omar Rodriguez possibly to look at the inside of Dawson Price.
Yeah, we've just been watching Dawson Price unfortunately slowly fall off lap after lap here since the start of this race, since the restart actually, after that caution. He was a pretty fast car out there in the beginning, but as the race has gone on and the temperatures have gotten worse and worse and those tires have gotten eaten up, he's slowly losing that speed. Still definitely has enough speed to stay up there with Connor Price, though.
Yeah, it's something actually really important to note here. We're actually almost 1 complete second off from what the pace was at the start of this race. The best lap Connor Price put down with a 30.59. Last lap Connor Price put down with a 31.24. So definitely taking a toll on these tires and looking at that fuel window.
We can actually take a look here at Connor Price's lap there. We'll take a look at Dawson Price's last lap compared to the leader's last lap there. So
Dawson Price set a slightly faster lap time than your leader Connor Price right now. And here they coming up on their first victim of lap traffic, actually. The number 78 of Garrett Hummel, who was involved in an early incident and set down pit lane by force.
Garrett Hummel in that 78 machine. Slightly Dangerous Racing uses team. Hope that's up to date.
You know.
You never know with these guys. You never know.
You never know. Looking while they're coming up on lap traffic, one thing I want to point out: your points leader, Kenneth McCall Jr., up 11 positions from the start of this. Started in the 26th position, now up to 15th, actually. So big moves for your points leader to try to get back up there. Again, not sure what happened. He did not go out to qualify. Not sure if that was by choice or for other reasons, but nonetheless, he did not go out to qualify. Coming around the number 2 car, James Hudson, at this time, take over 14th possibly. And your last week's winner, Al Likens, sitting in that 12th position currently, battling it out with the 99 of Mr. Fry here. Here, side by side racing. And Al looking for an opening, see if maybe a door will open or not.
We always have some Fry fans out here in the field. Where are they
it looks
tonight?
Like Connor Price, Dawson Price, and Omar Rodriguez has made it around Garrett Hummel at this time. So your top 3 made it around the first instance of lap traffic. And Dawson Price on the bumpers, got a run on Connor to the inside. Will he make it stick?
There he goes. He's got him by the quarter panel.
Here we go, side by side racing here.
He's got him side by side. Oh.
It's a drag race to turn 1 to see who can make the better quarter.
Dawson D. Price technically does have that bumper out, which does put him in that lead position. Not able to use all that track and get up there as much as he'd like, which is going to put the 28 of Connor Price back by him. So they're going to kind of get into this little fight back and forth here through these corners. They're going to go back and forth until one's a little bit faster and one has a worse corner than the other. Rodriguez is going to come up the back. It looks like Connor Price might have that better run off the top. But here comes Dawson Price on that bottom. He's real good through 1 and 2 there.
Omar
he's passed!
Omar thought about making it 3 wide there for a second, but had a second thought on it.
Connor Price is in a little bit of a pickle there. Not so much now. Omar Rodriguez is going to choose to stay behind Connor Price. Dawson D. Price did take the lead away. That's going to make that 28 machine chase him back down. A Chevrolet leads your race, followed by a Ford. We all know that I'm a Ford fan.
Oh gosh, the 93 car through the grass, but I was going to say though, Sean Merriam, your first victim to pit lane, coming down pit lane at this time.
Oh, you see the 93 just got loose off of turn 4 there and just down through the grass and then back up on track. Took the apron back up and just stayed to the bottom. So that's as good as you could want an event to go here at Nashville. But unfortunately,
Kyle Reynolds. Oh no, Kyle Reynolds having a rough entry into pit road. If you go ahead and look at that, wow. Kyle Reynolds looks. When Goose pulls it up on his side, gets hard on the brakes and gets loose going into pit road.
Take a look at that, Kyle Reynolds there. Yep, just has a bad entry into pit lane. We see that a lot of the time here in some of these races. We see a lot of that sometimes. While we were away, we did see that Omar Rodriguez Jr. was able to make the pass there on Connor Price. That put him into second position. He's up 7 positions since the start of this race. Connor Price right behind him.
Now it's going to get interesting because drivers started to hit pit lane, get a fresh set of Goodyear tires, of General tires, and a full fuel tank with 45 laps, with lap 42 being really the start of it. You still see your leaders still out on the track making it work, but you have to wonder how low are they truly getting on fuel now if others are starting to hit pit lane.
You got to be like Jamie Little. They're filling up with that Sunoco race fuel.
Oh God, no.
We see that some drivers, unfortunately, are out here tonight. Matt Benecke, unfortunately, did not complete this race. Brought the car down at some point during this race and parked it for the race. Ty Carino is down some laps. Kyle Raybolds, Sean Merriman, and Garrett Hummel also not on the lead lap. You see Carino down 2, and the rest are just down 1 lap. So Garrett Hummel will be in that spot, hopefully, if the caution comes out, to get a lap back. Let's take a look here. Let's just let the camera decide where we want to go throughout the field with the exciting cam. Apparently, Jacob Petrowski out there, you are exciting enough to be shown on camera. So here's a little bit of
wow,
time
Garrett
for
Hummel.
you.
Garrett Hummel just got loose off the quarter there. I don't know if you see that right in front of Jacob there.
I don't know, Hummel's got to watch those tires, being on those colder tires out here. He's not going to be able to push the car as hard right off the front, but as those tires do warm up, he is going to be able to push it a little bit more. Take a look. There's Connor Price to the inside of Rodriguez, who was not going to be able to get the pass off, though, and falls right behind Junior.
Here he comes again.
He's going to try. He's got that bumper.
Jacob, your third place points runner, coming on the bumper of Omar Rodriguez. And here's Ty.
62 to the inside of the 01.
Sliding up. Wow.
Whoa.
Slides up a little bit and is trying to get at least back on the same lap as the other lap cars. See if he can get up there. He's on a brand new set of General tires. See if he can get up there, and he is making quick work of your leaders to try to get back up on the lead lap. Not really trying to infringe on the battle, but just say, excuse me, I'm trying to get my lap back.
There's Ty Carino out there. Currently 26th position, started 15th out here tonight. It's been a hard race for him. He's just trying to make it work on those newer tires.
And as we were saying, as I said earlier, still moving up the field, the number 03, your points leader, Kenneth McCall Jr. It's honestly impressive how he's made his way up the field, and maybe that's the reason he's your points leader, because 3 wins this season, and he is making it look easy to work his way up this field. Started 26, like we said, currently up 15. second biggest mover of the race, Christopher McCool. The 04 car started right behind Kenneth up to the 13th position. We'll see what happens there.
It's always one of my favorite cars out there, that 04 car, because that's the number I race in real life. So I always got a special spot out there for you, Christopher, of course. Up 12 positions.
Oh, thanks. I know you did.
Well, we all know I got a special spot for you because you actually shout out to Christopher here, my co-broadcaster. Actually, he was able to bring you all the special little overlays you see on screen because I had no clue how to set any of it up, and he was able to set it up, so thank you to him.
Yeah. Got a battle here for third between Jacob and Connor, and Jacob falls back. Jacob falls back in line, maybe gonna try for another run. He does, and it is blocked, so he's gonna have to wait his turn to get up there.
He's at 9 positions. He started 13th in this race. Take a look at his photo there. What is that, Daytona? I love that picture. Good job, Jacob.
I'm not sure, but he is sure excited to be at the racetrack, as anybody should be.
Yeah, I would be too.
And yeah, so we're gonna go see here. No leaders have made it to pit road, but Garrett Hummel evidently has. No, he hasn't. Okay, never mind. I was looking at the wrong thing. I thought he made it back on the lead lap. That was the wrong thing. He's made it past a couple cars. And here comes your leader of Dawson Price. Led 32 laps of the scheduled 120 that we have done. We have on shore, and we have completed 55 of them. Now 33 laps he's completed. So he is definitely somebody to keep in mind.
Lap 56 of 120 here tonight in the WWSS ARCA at Nashville Superspeedway. It's one of those second to final races for Homestead, Miami. That's where the final race of the chase will commence. Make sure to join us next week for that one. Make sure to come out here tomorrow night. Join us for Dare tomorrow night. We will, of course, broadcast. We will start that broadcast a little bit early during practice. That way you guys can see that the session is up. If you guys see that the session is up, remember it's a hosted session, so you guys are more than happy to come out there and join and be on broadcast.
There is a B class and up racing session though, so you gotta be class B and above to actually participate. And important to know. Also to mention tomorrow, we have the Wild West Gen 4 series racing tomorrow. The WYO Gen Outlaw Custom Diecast Gen 4 series racing tomorrow here on Fearless Broadcast. Gonna get started at around, get started I believe at about 8:30 is when practice starts, and 9:15 is when the race starts. We'll be live there. You'll be live with me there. We'll start probably about 9 o'clock, let qualifying happen, and go from there. So if you're interested in watching some Gen 4 action at the beautiful Martinsville Speedway, come check it out.
As we make our way to lap 60 of 120 here tonight at Nashville Superspeedway, we're going to take a minute here and take a little commercial break. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back after our messages.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Real quick, people stop real quick. Push cut. Double check the steering wheel. Push roller.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
All out there. Nice and smooth. Let's get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling for today, guys.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
It's too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. The Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
This isn't just another sim race, this isn't just another online league, and this isn't just another trophy on a shelf. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Drivers choose the charity. Talent chooses the winner. The culture is strong, but the competition is stronger. Most events focus on just one cause, not here. Each driver selects a charity to race for, leaving dozens of causes in contention as drivers fight for a place in the top 5.
Think you've got what it takes to join the Charity Cup Series? Find a cause you believe in and buckle up. This is more than your everyday sim racing experience. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Premier Racing Setups.
Welcome everybody. Welcome back to the Weekend Warrior Sim Series here at Nashville Superspeedway. We're on lap 66. What you missed here, Omar Rodriguez Jr. led some laps and he's going to bring it down pit road right now. That's going to put Nathan Swafford in that number 5 car in first position for now. A lot of guys came down pit road. Not too much happened though for incident-wise. No crashes, no really big spins. A couple of just hard pit entries, but nothing too serious.
Nathan Swafford pitted last on lap number 9. So he's one of 2 drivers that pitted on lap number 9 that have not pitted since. The second driver, that being the number 9 of Al Likens, involved in that early caution.
See, Al was down there for 40 seconds, probably tires, fuel. Nathan was only down there for 6 seconds, so I can only assume fuel.
Splash of gas.
I guess so.
Gas and
right
go.
there at the beginning.
Gas and go.
He's fighting there with the 03 a little bit. The 03's on some fresher stuff though, so he's got to get by. Nathan out there on those older tires. Not too sure how that's going for him. Hopefully it's going good.
Sean Merriman last pitted on lap 41, but Dawson Price is right behind him, coming in hot behind him with that fresher set, those fresher sets of tires. Sean pitted on lap 41, Dawson pitted on lap 63, and look at how much the distance is closing between them just on the front straightaway. Wow. Incredible stuff. Amazing. Shows you a lot of what tires will do at a track like this.
Dawson D. Price led 40 laps here tonight of 120. We're coming to lap 70. Nathan Swafford, you can say that you led at least, as of right now, 3 laps in that Coors Banquet machine. I gotta have a soft spot for you too. One, because you're a Ford, and Ford is one of my favorite brands, but also Coors Banquet. I know what you're going with there. I love Coors Banquet. So up 21 positions so far, but yet to come down pit lane. So we'll just have to see if that's going to hold up.
Yeah, actually, one of my broadcasts I did earlier this last week was they actually paid $30 to the winner, $50 to second, and $10 to the best paint scheme. So it got, when you're talking about paint schemes, got me thinking, what is the best paint scheme here? And I think I found your favorite, that being the Coors Banquet one.
Surprisingly, I don't think that is one of my favorites out here. Well, let's just take a look through the field. We're going really, really fast throughout the field. There's a specific car that I call out every week, and there he is. That's the number 96, Blaze Billing. I don't know why, man. There's just something about this car. I love it. I love it. It's the Monster Energy. It's the white Monster Energy. If I drink Monster, that's what I drink. Blaze, if you want to impress me more, make it a NOS Energy car, and then it'll be better, because NOS is my favorite. So but Blaze Billing is definitely my favorite for tonight.
Hey, I gotta put some respect on Garrett Hummel's paint scheme, the Martin Truex Jr. throwback to when he won his first championship. Always always a good throwback paint scheme to highlight.
As basic as it is, I like something basic like that.
I do too, indeed. Definitely a cool paint scheme to see out here.
Garrett Hummel, currently 25th, started first, so not a very great night for him.
You know, Justin, I know you said you like the Coors one. Well, personally, I like Justin's paint scheme. Number one, because it's Chevy, and number two, because it's Busch Light. Love me some Busch Light, especially Busch Light Apple, which just came back in stock.
You know, funny enough, you talk about that. I just got groceries and everything tonight, and I was looking at the Busch Apple in the store, and I don't like Busch. I had a best friend. I had a best friend who loved Busch, and I didn't like regular Busch because I tried it from him. But Busch Apple, man, there's just something about that Bapple. Remember, drink responsibly. Only drink if you are of age, 21 years of age and older. But Bapple, there's just something special about it. It's
just
alcoholic apple juice.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to love about it?
Oh, take a look. Nathan Swafford finally comes down pit road, and Dawson D. Price is going to be able to take the lead back.
Al Liken's also coming down pit road at this time.
So finally a switch here. Got a little bit ways to go. Lap 76 of 120 here tonight. We've only had one caution. So I'd say it's been a pretty great night out here. Take a look at the back gearbox. Look at the...
It's definitely going to be it. I want to point out something, actually. I just thought about this. It's definitely going to be interesting if another caution comes out or something. Because if you look at this field, most of the drivers in the lead pitted at around lap 63, which if we're going to our final distance of lap 120, if there's a caution at the very end of this, it's going to be a fuel mileage race. Because they're going to be running close to on fumes by the time lap 120 comes around and goes past that.
I don't want to say anything and jinx it now, but if we all remember back to one of the last races last week, you'll remember that towards the end of the race, the cars got crazy, the cautions came out after a pretty clean race. So there's no counting it out that the same thing could happen out here tonight. Hopefully it won't happen, but if it does come down to a fuel thing, we could see something happen like last night. Your leader of the race, of that sports car race, unfortunately not able to take home the lead. Running out on the last corner, running out of fuel just on that last corner before the end of the race, and just taking over. So we could see that here tonight as well. Not sports cars, but NASCAR, nonetheless. See the 54 of Dawson D. Price working his way through there. Skid Row Motorsports. Car on the outside. This is number 41. Number 41 of Jeremy Osborne. Unfortunately, put back there, not on the lead lap. Back to a couple of laps down, actually. Price still leads this race around. Real good lead. See, Omar Rodriguez Jr. is going to have to work his way around that lap traffic there. Going to be able to take the inside. Jacob Petrowski in that 01 Toyota. The Toyotas are strong out there. See the Toyota there in 3rd and 4th position. Got to fight back here, the 18 and the 28. I don't believe that this is their first time doing this tonight. I believe there's been more instances of this.
I believe so as well. You know, looking at everything that's going on tonight, it is definitely interesting with how close the points battle is for the top 3, and with how the track has been acting and the race has been going on. You know, your 3rd and 4th place runners in points right now are the 2 highest, or is 2nd and 3rd, respectively, and the 2nd place points runner, Aiden Stevens, currently sitting in 7th, and your points leader of Kenneth sitting in 10th. And it's actually kind of funny. They're sitting in the absolute reverse order than what they're running in points. So Omar, being in 4th, is currently the highest place runner in the race currently. And Jacob, right behind him in 3rd, currently 3rd in points. So it's really kind of funny to see that. And then respectively, Aiden 7th currently. Aiden currently is 7th, and he is 2nd, and Kenneth in 10th. He is your points leader. So kind of funny to see that and kind of chuckle at there.
Very true. Oh my God! Kenneth McCullough Jr. turns Kean Fry.
Wow.
Kean Fry down into the grass. The caution will not come out as Kean Fry went down, but not a very good move. I'm pretty sure Kean Fry not going to be very, very happy about that. Let's take a look at that. We're going to have to rewind it just a little bit here. Hold on just a second. New overlays, new stuff that I have to do. Take a look at this. Just the 03 sends the 99 around, and the 99 into the grass. So
I'm looking at that replay actually. It may have been that Kenneth thought he was going to stay all the way down there, because he comes up as Kenneth is moving up the track too. So maybe just one of those. He thought he was clear. Kenneth thought it was clear, but he was not, and shunts the 99, unfortunately.
Just another Tuesday night out here tonight. Taking a look out there through the field. A lot of fighting. A lot of just little groups all fighting. You see the 78, the 74, and the 18 there. They're going to be fighting. That's Aiden Stevens in the 74. The 18 is Sean Merriman, and Travis Farmer back here in the 09 is trying to catch up desperately to him. Take a look, almost 3 wide there. I think that is 3 wide, actually. Omar Rodriguez Jr. on the bottom. 31 is stuck there in the middle. And the number 3 on the top, the number 3 will fall out of line. Lame.
Dawson Price saying, do that some more, because that extends his lead. His current gap on Omar, 0.4 seconds. And it was closer than that before, but when Omar got 3 wide, having to keep it on the bottom and not have a lot of wiggle room, Dawson was able to extend that lead. coming to the stripes. We're going to be on lap 9, starting of lap 90 of your scheduled 120 lap main event. And when they come around next time after starting lap 90, it'll be 30 to go.
We're slowly running out of time here tonight, unfortunately. It's been really fun watching these guys out here tonight. A lot of clean racing out here tonight. Definitely, if you guys are interested in joining for Season 2 of the Weekend Warrior Sim Series here on iRacing, definitely check out their Discord and get signed up. They got one more race to go next week at Homestead, Miami. Make sure to join us next week for that race. But in the meantime, get joined into the Discord, get signed up for Season 2. Have some fun with them. From up here in the booth, this looks like a ton of fun.
Absolutely, yeah. I definitely, you know, depending on what availability I have, I may have to get into one of these leagues that we broadcast for and just join for the fun of it. You know, I don't do racing as often as I used to, just because I just don't have the time between getting stuff ready for broadcasts and having stuff to do outside of broadcasting. I just don't have a lot of time for it, but gosh, these ARCA races, it's always fun watching the ARCA series, because ARCA, you know, you're not necessarily on an equal playing field, but you're on an equal playing field. It's not too fast, it's not too slow, it's just that right speed that makes it nice and fluid.
I definitely do agree with you. I actually did join one of the leagues that I broadcasted for, All-American Racing Network, AARN. Yeah, I joined on to their ARCA series. There was some talks about me joining on to this ARCA series in here. I think I'll save that back, though, for when I have some more time. So, we'll not be there in Season 2. Maybe if there's a Season 3, I'll definitely try and get in there for that Season 3. Hopefully, they'll have us back here. So it's actually coming up to be pretty sad. We're running out of nights here in the Weekend Warrior Sim series. It's the second to last night, so make sure you guys share it around for anybody. Make sure they're coming out here to the lives. Tune in. Come be a part of the last couple of races here.
You know, you say it's sad and all that, but at the same time, I'm looking at their schedule. They're not going to have to wait very long. Last race on April 28th, and they kick back off with Season 2 on June 2nd in Daytona.
No, but we're, unfortunately, not broadcasting for their second season there, so.
Oh, dang. Unfortunate.
No. I mean, maybe if they want to have us back, we would be more than happy to broadcast it, so we'll just have to see there. Otherwise, though, Dawson D. Price out there. Take a look at that number 93 Arizona machine. I like that paint scheme. I really actually like that paint scheme. That is Reagan Shockley in that number 93 machine. Unfortunately, just going a lap down as Dawson D. Price passes him. But I do like that paint scheme out there.
You know, I don't think we're focusing on the big thing right here. Omar Rodriguez
is right there.
Right there on Dawson Price, trying to get around him, use the lap cars to his benefit. Will the lap cars play nice here?
I did not even notice Omar right there. Yeah, he's coming up pretty quick. Here he comes. They're going too wide. Oh my goodness, look at that. This is what NASCAR racing is all about when you get them all in sync like this. They all just kind of sync up and they work together. You see the two lead lap cars right there on the bottom and the two down lap pretty much cars on the top there. They beautifully did that. And now Dawson's going to leave him out to hang. That's what he wants to do. Omar's going to have to try and fight to get past him and get up there in first position.
Absolutely. As we dwindle down the laps here to the end of this race, it is still a close race. Omar within 40.4 seconds of your leader of Dawson Price. But also important to note, somebody we were talking about at the top of the broadcast is Al Likens, last week's winner, not having a very good night, currently sitting 24th. Last week's winner, very dominant, very good race at Kansas, and unfortunately does not look like he's going to be able to capitalize and continue the winning motion. So unfortunate there for him. Got caught up in an incident early, and sadly it just went downhill.
Let's take a look here at your weather so far out here tonight. Temperatures 88 degrees Fahrenheit still. Wind still 7 miles an hour. It's partly cloudy out there. Humidity 34%. So not too humid. I think it would be a little bit of a hot day at the track, honestly, but not too bad of a day at Nashville.
Absolutely, but the only thing that I will say is that heat is killing those tires. As just looking now at looking at the lap times again, we talked about lap times at the top earlier today when everybody started making their pit stops. It's still, people actually improved on their lap times when they came off of pit road, and now back down to the 31s. So you can see how much tires are affected just 40 laps into this, and it is definitely a talking point, because tires, it's definitely going to be a talking point when if a caution comes out near the end of this thing, because that's when strategy is going to come into play. You will have drivers that may hit pit road, take 4 tires. You'll have drivers hit pit road, take 2 tires, and some guys will say screw it and stay out and gamble with what they got, which we've seen work out before. So it will definitely be interesting to see if a caution does end up coming out within these next 18 races. 18 laps. I mean,
look here. Dawson D. Price led 68, coming to 69 now. Laps of this 120 lap race. We got 17 laps to go here tonight. He has been absolutely ripping it up out here tonight. Let's take a ride on board with your leader. Let's just listen to those throttle inputs through those corners. Look how close he gets to that wall. There's number 70 right there.
Absolutely. It's funny, I'm looking at this live timing, and Dawson has made great work of this field, lapping almost half of it. Currently, Keen Fry, the last person on the lead lap, Blaze Billing, the first one to go, the latest victim of being a lap car. So he would get the lucky dog if this was to go to caution right now. As the laps close down here, currently looking Kenneth McCall Jr. up to 8th so far, so he's still climbing that ladder, trying to get up there, but I don't know. Currently the gap from him to the leader of Dawson Price, 18 seconds. I don't know if he'll get up there currently. The car next in front of him currently ahead by 6 seconds. That being the 09 of Travis Farmer. And Travis Farmer extending the gap on him. So we will see if Kenneth can catch him and possibly move up to 7th. We'll see as the laps dwindle down here.
Rodriguez Jr. still trying to make something work in that number 92 buoy machine. still trying to get there. We've been with these guys ever since Throwback Week. Now we're here at Nashville Superspeedway, watching someone in a bluey car in second place. Hey, you know, I can't actually complain about the bluey car because, you know, bluey's kind of cool. I respect it. I don't care. Hey. Dawson D. Price, I bet he cares about being in that first position. Well, we're dwindling down, like you said. Coming here almost to 10 laps. We're going to have 11 laps to go next time around. There's Kean Fry in that number 99 right there in front of Dawson D. Price. Dawson's going to have to work around. Kean, unfortunately, has not been able to get back too far up there since he got spun out. He's not a lap down, though, which is the important part. Unfortunately, he is the last car on the lead lap back there in 11th position. So, not a great night for Kean Fry. An unfortunate one, definitely for him. 54 is going to work his way through there. Did someone just have a rough pit entry?
That may have been the free of Justin.
Yeah, let's take a look at him here. Oh yeah, we can already take a look.
Yeah, it's not rough. He just decided a late pit entry. So it wasn't rough.
It got a little bit scary there, but nothing too terrible, thankfully.
Hey, you know, brakes never hurt anybody.
No, a little bit of brakes, a little bit of tire smoke. I think I see the number 78 machine back there, taking a look down pit lane.
Absolutely, and you honestly wonder if these leaders are going to make a move down pit lane, but because with how close fuel mileage is, because if I look here, I believe, yes, we're getting closer and closer to being out of gas, but we will see what occurs. Your leader last pitted on lap 63 is when he last made his stop on lap 63. Your second place car, Omar Rodriguez, last stopped on pit on lap 66. So 3 lap difference, 3 laps can mean a lot when it comes to fuel mileage.
Connor Price in the 28 machine came down. Oh,
you know, you honestly start to wonder, is fuel saving strategy going to come into play yet?
Not too sure. It could. I'm wondering if some of these guys are hoping on some kind of caution out here, or if they're wondering if they can make it all the way. Hopefully they've saved enough fuel. Maybe.
I would say if I am the number 54 of Dawson Price, I would be a little worried. But if I'm the number 3, the number 92 of Omar Rodriguez, I'd be a little alright if a caution came out right now.
And Dawson has got to be a little bit nervous, I bet, up there. It's been a while since he pit, and they got 6 laps to go. So pretty soon he's going to figure out if he has enough fuel, or if he's going to make it there to the end of this race. He's going to have to see 5 laps to go here at Nashville Superspeedway in the ARCA Menards ARCA cars. Using them General tires. Not Goodyear's, General tires. They are unlike the truck, O'Reilly and Cup cars. They use the General tires, and then they still use the Sunoco race fuel, just like everybody else. Definitely, if you guys don't know too much about ARCA or have never really watched ARCA, you got to try them out at least a few times. I know lowest tier of NASCAR out there, but they are very, very fun cars to drive. I do love them.
A very famous YouTuber, actually, Cletus McFarland, has actually been studying the ARCA world recently. Started last year and continued on. Him and his cameraman,
I raced with him in iRacing.
Yeah, him and his cameraman, Squirrel McNutt, as they call him, actually going to Talladega together this weekend.
Yes,
so
I cannot wait for that.
That's going to be interesting. You know, I don't know if a lot of people really tuned into the main broadcast of the ARCA series or NASCAR in general, but Talladega always an exciting one to see live on TV. I definitely know Sunday and this weekend I'm going to be watching it, since my broadcasts aren't until the evening. And Sunday, as of right now, I don't have a broadcast, so
Two laps to go.
2 laps to go. Oh boy, here we go. It is all Dawson Price up front, and he is only praying that the caution flag does not come out.
I'm hoping that he has enough fuel, and I'm pretty sure he's probably hoping a lot more than me that he's got the fuel to go. You can definitely tell he's been trying to get her going. And Omar Rodriguez Jr. unfortunately has been falling off pace. Final lap here at Nashville Superspeedway. Dawson D. Price slow through that bottom side. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. He's been able to conquer the track here tonight. He conquered the fuel strategy. He conquered the tires. He conquered the heat. He conquered the track. A little loose coming out of turn 4. Dawson D. Price takes home your win here at Nashville Superspeedway. Omar Rodriguez Jr. will take home 2nd position, and Matt Morrison will take home 3rd place here tonight.
Excellent performance there by Dawson Price, putting on a clinic on these guys. I want to point out one more time, Dawson actually led 85 laps tonight. Getting some love there from Omar Rodriguez, it looks like. Say congratulations.
Good win, bud.
Wow.
Good door bang, bud. And down pit lane goes Omar. Kean Fry,
and
of
here
course.
comes a bump. Here comes a bumper from Kean.
He's got his teammates, of course, out there, I do believe.
And here it goes. Victory celebration on the front stretch.
Burn her down, Dawson. You earned it. Please keep her on the pavement this time. Stay out of the grass. Yeah.
54 Hard Rock Cafe Chevrolet, your winner tonight of the Weeknight Warrior Sim Series with ARCA.
Congratulations out there, the Dawson D. Price. And hey, congratulations to Omar and Matt. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back here in a couple minutes. We're going to track down your top 3, and we're going to interview them. So stay tuned with us for just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. The Weekend Warrior Sim Series. We tracked down your top 3 out here tonight. We're going to take a look here and pull in Mr. Dawson Price, your first place winner here tonight. Tell us, Dawson, how hard was the heat here at Nashville tonight?
It was pretty rough. Adding the heat onto a concrete surface definitely made it really tricky out there tonight. But hey, tried to keep it from going out from under me. Is the main goal.
I gotcha. So tell us about that last little bit there of that race. You last pitted there on lap 66, and it was a 120 lap race. Tell us, how in the world did you make it there to the end of this race?
Honestly, a little bit of luck is always part of it in racing, I say, but really just doing everything I could to get the car to rotate center, get her slowed down, not use a bunch of wheel, and really easy on the gas, digging out of the corners to keep that dig out, and just doing what I can to be as perfect as possible, hit the marks, and just lock in and have the rhythm going, and it worked out tonight.
Christopher, you got a couple questions?
Yeah, man. So it was an incredible performance by you there the whole night. But tell us, you started in this race second, and from the start you were a rocket. Tell us, like, how did the car feel from the start to the end of this race?
Yeah, thank you, by the way. But honestly, during I would say the first 5 to 10 laps, there's this window where it's really easy to make it trend later on tight or loose. And if you kind of drive it in that area, making it tight or loose, then it's kind of what you get the rest of the run. And there in the beginning, I was getting a little loose, chasing the car in P1 early on. And that kind of helped me realize, like, okay, like I definitely need to save that, because towards the end of that run before the green stops, I did definitely trend more loose than I did the second run, and that was a big thing to like keep in mind to try to maintain the lead there the second half.
Absolutely, man. I'm actually, so you can't see this personally, but I'm looking at this start that you guys had. You had Mr. Garrett Hummel there out front for quite a while, and I don't know if you know this, but you led 85 laps with a total 120 tonight. But
wow,
Garrett Hummel was out front at the start of this, and you were battling there for a while, and after you got around the 6 car and Garrett Hummel had his mistake, you were just out front the whole night. What do you think about this track, and it being a concrete track, not being an asphalt track like a lot of the tracks we go to throughout the series? What do you think about this track, and how does this track affect your race car compared to a lot of the other tracks?
That's a good question. I think this, like, you kind of go in and it's like, okay, concrete track, there's going to be a lot of tire wear, that grooves in the concrete, but it's labeled as Superspeedway, but it's shorter than 1.5 miles, and it's concrete, and it's somewhat flat. So you kind of think going in, like, I run it like an intermediate, but honestly, I think it's like a really big short track, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really enjoy the track, though. It's all about the center roll, like just being able to have that little bit of patience, I think, is so beneficial here at Nashville.
Well, hey, I'm looking here. I just realized you're saying 5th in points, actually. So, and you are actually behind Omar, who is 4th. You're behind him by 17 points. So, I believe it is. No, you're behind him by 1 point. You're behind the leader, Kenneth, tonight by 17 points. So, you and Omar are separated by 1. And you and Jacob are separated by 2. So good points night for you tonight with coming to the end of the season. What's that have to do coming into Homestead at the season finale next week?
Yeah, I'm definitely glad we got a good night tonight. I'm like, really looking forward to see what kind of points I'm able to score. I had a DNF, I believe it was the first race or the second race. I think it was the first during the chase after I had a little bit of a gap coming in from bonus points I was able to get during the regular season. And then like I got the regular season, came in, and then I had a DNF, and I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be a little tough. I gotta lock in here for the chase. And then I didn't finish too well at Kansas last week, so coming into today, it was just like do everything I can to be perfect. Hope everything plays out well, and then we got no yellows really. So I think definitely going into next week, it's gonna be probably not the same situation. Just try to bring the best car we got, the best me that I've got, and keep the car from going out from under myself and look forward.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, do you got anybody you want to thank or anything?
Absolutely. Shout out to all the family watching. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to the LOC guys, Apex guys, some of the best teammates you could ask for. Shout out to you guys for the dope broadcast. And I think that's about it.
All
right. Well,
congratulations.
Last thing I gotta say is what was that little stint there on pit road at the end of the race there, going backwards with Omar?
We caught that on camera.
That was great.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see that. Yeah, I was down there burning it down, and I was like, I'm gonna go crazy. It's been a minute since I've got to do this. And then I turn around again. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna park on the start finish, and then it's blip 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 blip, and I'm like, no, man. I ran out of gas, and he was like, I'll help you, bro. I was like, all right, just push the road, and then we like bumpers and shaked and baked, but basically
that's great, man. Well, hey, congratulations on your win.
All right, thank you guys.
Alrighty, that was Dawson Price out there. Your first place finisher here tonight. Congratulations to him. Up next, we're going to pull in Mr. Omar Rodriguez Jr. He's going to be your second place finisher here tonight. Congratulations on that second place. Hey, what was the toughest part about this track here for you tonight?
Watching Dawson Price just slowly inch away from me lap after lap for 110.
Oh, I can understand that one. Was it the heat out there? Was it just the tire wear?
He just has that slight edge over me, especially in the high tire wear scenarios, you know, like we had today. I kept using my stuff up trying to catch him and pass him, and you know, I would use my stuff up and then get to the end of the run, and I would watch him just crawl away a tenth at a time.
I gotcha. What do you think held you back the most about your car tonight? What about the car held you back the most?
I think it's probably the driver. Yeah, I think the driver did the most to hurt the car tonight.
Well, despite getting second place, it's still a very good finish here at Nashville Superspeedway. What's the confidence level looking like going in the next week?
It's going pretty damn well. You know, 2 podium finishes in the last 2 weeks. Only 9 points back from the leader, Kenny McCullough, going into our final race here for the championship. We're going to my home track, so I always feel like I have a bit of an advantage there. I've put in a ton of times in a ton of different cars. So, you know, combine the good recent finishes with just a history of performing well at the track. I think I can at least, you know, maybe bring home a win, even if it doesn't necessarily win me the chase.
Christopher, do you have any questions to ask him about his standings there in the points? We know that he's pretty high up in there.
Absolutely. You know, actually, Omar, it's actually funny. We were just talking to Dawson. Dawson, you and Jacob, only 1 point separate all three of you right now, from third, fourth, and fifth, and Jacob, who is currently sitting third, Jacob is currently only 6 points away from that second place of Aiden Stevens. What does a good points night like tonight do for you going into Homestead?
I mean, nothing but good things, right? I mean, I made up the gap I had to Kenny McCullough. I'm now 9 points back from the from the championship leader. I'm only 3 and 4 points back from Aiden and Dawson, respectively. I've passed Jacob due to my better finish tonight. So I have a really good feeling about the point situation. It's close enough that a win would do a ton of good things. The 3 bonus points, the fourth one for leading a lap. If I could lead the most laps, that'd be an extra point. Like it's a gap I can make up if I just get in the right mindset and qualify well and have a dominating race, which I do think I'm capable of pulling next week.
Absolutely. One thing I gotta talk about is, were you hoping for a caution there at the end of this race? We've been talking about fuel. We were talking about fuel and tires, and I actually noticed that Dawson pitted at lap 63 and you pitted at lap 66. And one thing I was curious about, how much was fuel? Was fuel on your mind at all? Were you hoping for a caution or anything like that?
No, the only concern I had about fuel was how much longer was I gonna be able to wait to pit to try to get maybe some sort of tire differential. So he pit on 63. I figure, hey, if I stretch out these laps here and just use up what's left in the tank, I might be able to get some sort of like tire differential. Just have the 4 lap fresher tires, and hopefully maybe I'd have something left for him at the end of the second run. But aside from that, I don't think fuel was ever much of a like front and center in my mind. Regarding the caution, it's a yes and no. I mean, obviously, I would have liked the caution to reset the field, be able to grab new tires, maybe really try to go for it once and for all. But as as the league owner, having a 110 green flag stretch there is pretty damn good. Definitely have high hopes for the field going into the next week.
Absolutely.
So like would I've liked the caution probably, but ultimately it going green worked out best for me, worked out best for the team, worked out best for the league. So I can't complain about the league keeping it green for that long.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, I got one final question for you. I'm looking here at the replay right now. What happened there in the closing laps? It looked like around lap 107, you just fell back hard. Did you use up all your stuff at that point, or what happened there?
Absolutely. I spent, I don't know, laps 80 to 100 just pushing as hard as I could, fighting through lap traffic. I think I put them 3 wide at one point just trying to get by them. I absolutely tore through my stuff on that second run. Just you see the car in front of you. He's only 3/10s, 4/10s. It feels like a gap you can close in a good lap or two. But he just stayed patient, and I kept running my stuff up, and it cost me in the end.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, do you have anybody you want to thank at this time?
Oh man, who don't I want to thank? You guys obviously for coming out here, putting on a broadcast. Chris, I'd like to welcome you as your first time jumping in here. Glad we could put on a good race for you guys. I'd like to thank my girlfriend for putting up with this week after week. Hopefully good races like this will make it easy to justify putting every Tuesday night down for this. I'd like to thank the rest of my admin team for helping keeping things nice and organized, and just for everything they do. They know what they do. I'd like to shout out the Price family. I know they tune into the broadcast. It stings a little bit knowing I watched Dawson walk away from me there, but glad I could put on a good show for the Prices. I'd like to thank the drivers for coming out, making the league what it is week after week. Had a ton of guys already signed up for season 2, so that's feels pretty good as a league admin. And I'd like to thank tonight's sponsor, Fred Truax, owner of Truax Entertainment, I believe it is. Dude does our sim photography. I believe he broadcasts. He does paint schemes. He does the whole shebang. Absolutely great guy. Love working with him. Glad he could, help us put on this race tonight. I think that's about everything I got.
Alrighty. Congratulations out here, Omar, on this second place position here tonight. Hopefully, going in the next week, we see you do just as good. And hey, maybe you get that first place victory.
Yep, hopefully I win the championship, right? That's what we're here for.
We'll see. Thank you, Omar. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Alrighty, that was Omar Rodriguez, second place finisher here tonight. Dreamer of a first place finish next week, and we'll see if that's the case. We got one more person to talk to. Christopher, would you like to interview him first?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get him in here.
Alrighty, that's going to be Mr. Matt Morrison, your third place finisher here tonight. Congratulations, Matt. Christopher, take it away.
Matt, what an impressive run tonight for you. You know, you were a talking point from the start of this race, actually, from the drop of the green flag. You in that number 6 car, basically hovering around that top 3 the entire night from the drop of the green flag. You know, I'm going to ask you the same question I've asked both Omar and Dawson. What is it about this track being concrete? What does that do to your tires?
It eats them up alive. The concrete surface during the daylight just eats the tires tremendously bad.
Yeah. So, you know, next question I honestly got to ask you is, what did you need to possibly make it up there to win, or even second place to secure it?
I think that wreck that happened earlier with Garrett when he spun, I had to get way out of the throttle to miss him, and that allowed Omar to get by, and that kind of created a gap, and it never came back to me, and we never got a caution afterwards. So I think that was the big difference right there for me.
Absolutely. So, you know, you pitted same lap that Dawson did. Was you guys both pitted at lap 63? Was your pit stop due to fuel, or was it due to tires?
It was more of tires. I think I still had maybe 10 laps of fuel left. It wasn't that long, but tires were gone at that point, so I just had to come get them. I probably could have stayed out longer, but then didn't feel like the overcut was the way to go tonight. So, but yeah, just happy accident that happened to be on the bottom at the same time, and then just pitted. And you never want to pit same lap as the leaders, because all you do is, if you pit with the leaders, all you can do is follow them. But yeah, I didn't have it in me for another few laps there, and I didn't think the overlap was going to work as well as I would have hoped for. So yeah, just pitting there and getting some freshies, and it helped me out where I was at, because I was battling with Aiden there, and I know after the pit stop I never saw him again. So and I think the other Price, Connor missed pit road, I think, and so that allowed him to get behind me as well, and then he hustled through the field trying to get back up there and wore his stuff out. So I just was able to get third there at the end.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to head it over here to Goose, see if he has anything.
Yeah, sure. So, with a third place finish here tonight, of course I got to ask, what's the confidence level looking like going in the next week?
Better than it was tonight. Nashville is not my favorite track. I kind of struggle here in every car I race at. So getting a third's pretty good, pretty surprising. Homestead next week will be Homestead. You can run against the wall. You can run on the bottom. Next week's going to be pretty fun, especially if we get the same kind of green flag running we had tonight. Homestead next week will be real fun.
Right. I did have one more off the top of my head, and it just went away. Oh, yeah. We heard a lot about tires tonight being a big issue. We heard a lot about the heat. We talked a lot about the heat tonight. For you, What would you say was the biggest thing that held you back from getting up there to that first position here tonight?
Probably my conscience of not overdriving it too early and wasting the tires. I knew tires were going to come into play, and I was trying to keep up there with Dawson early in the race, but yeah, I knew it was like circumstances or whatever. Like if Garrett didn't spin out in front of us, it would have been different. But yeah, I didn't want to drive it so hard so early and use up and then just fall like a rock. So I think it was my own conscience that got in the way.
Alrighty. Hey, before we let you go here tonight, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
I gotta give a special shout out to my mom. It's her birthday today, so good third place finish on her birthday. Yeah, shout out to my mom. Shout out to David McCullough, teammates Hunter, and Travis, and Nathan. Everybody at Elite Summit. We didn't show up. All of us didn't show up like we wanted to. Nashville's a tough track for us, but we did good tonight. And I got to thank you guys, everyone at Fearless for putting this on. I got to thank Omar for putting the league on, all the other admins, and everybody who watched tonight. Appreciate it. Oh, I got to thank, most importantly, I got to thank my wife and the two boys. They're sleeping right now, so I got to be a little quiet. But yeah, they support me doing this all the time, so I got to thank them most importantly.
Well, congratulations here tonight, Matt. Hopefully we see you up there just as high in the standings next week.
Yeah, I think I can get 5th. It's the highest I can get. So hopefully we'll get a 5th place. That'd be nice.
Right. All right. Congratulations, Matt. Have a good one.
All right, guys. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
That was Matt Morrison, 3rd place finisher here tonight. Hey, thank you, everybody, for coming out here tonight. I think it was a pretty fun night out here tonight at Nashville. Definitely fun. A lot of great green flag racing. Green flag pit stops, of course, we had a few accidents like normal down pit road, but that's just something that happens here in any NASCAR race. I mean, well, here on iRacing. So we see it in real life sometimes too, don't we, Christopher?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Before we let you go out of here tonight, we want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors that make this channel possible. Premier Racing Setups, Juicy Spider Designs, Goose's Rattle Can Shop, Puffy's Swag Shop, and of course we want to thank the sponsors that make the league that you are able to watch possible. Christopher?
Yeah, we want to thank Fast Fred's Wrap Shop, Tuttle to Towers Foundation, Pro Spill Recovery and Excavation Services, and 760 Graphics for their support of the Weeknight Warrior Sim Racing League and supporting their series.
Make sure to come out next week and check us out on Homestead, Miami, here in the Weekend Warrior Sim series. That's definitely going to be a fun one. If you want to tune in to me tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing Dare tomorrow night. Christopher also has some streams going on. Christopher, if you want to tell them about those.
Yeah, we got the Wild West Gen 4 series going to Martinsville, the paperclip, tomorrow night. So if you're interested in watching some of the old Gen 4 NASCAR stock cars go around the paperclip, check it out tomorrow right here on Fearless Broadcast with the Wild West Racing League.
With that, I don't think I have anything else. Do you have anything else, Christopher?
Nope, I'm good here. I think we're good to close it out.
Alrighty, with that, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in tonight here at Nashville Superspeedway. Hopefully we see you here next week, and I hope I see you all again here tomorrow. Take care, have a safe night, and we'll see y'all.